Oops. Hi, now we're recording. Let's try that again. At 6:12, we're recording, so thank you very much. This is Manhattan Community Board One's Executive Committee. It is our one meeting. We function as a full board meeting because it is August and we are off, so it's a variety of different things. We are at quorum now, so we will start with official updates. Before George kicks off, the sidewalk application for 456 Greenwich for Phuket. They negotiated with our council member change to honor the concerns that we had about accessibility for not only a service path, but for getting around and in, and agreed to the service hours. So we sent an update to our objection and approved it. Renovation for reunification waiver for 11 Wall Street was also approved because we approved them in November 2024. There's no reason to make people come back to the board if they're willing and able and working with us. So with that, those two things come off. That's item 7 and item 8. And that brings us to George. Welcome, George James. We have two things to discuss tonight: Manhattan Plan and Charter Revision ballot, and both of them will end up on the land use or executive committees in September. But until that point, George is presenting today. Take it away, George.
All right, great. Glad to be here. Let me share my screen if I am able. You should be able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So great. So I am here today to talk about planning initiatives that are going on. Hold on.
Oh,
Go
ahead.
There we
Sorry,
go.
George.
Okay. Well, there we go. Okay. So this is mostly going to be about the Manhattan Plan and Charter Revision. I'm going to talk a little bit about fair housing because that is also ongoing, and I'll mention City of Yes for Families, which is something that you may be seeing. All right. So the Manhattan Plan. Hopefully you've heard about it, but what is it? It is a series of zoning and policy changes that would together add 100,000 housing units to Manhattan, which is more than 10% of the size of Manhattan now. That includes the roughly 10,000 units that are planned for Midtown South and 100 Gold Street. So the city has repeatedly said they want to upzone parts of Manhattan, but couldn't because of the 12 FAR cap, and the 12 FAR cap is mostly gone, and we now have these 15 and 18 FAR districts that can replace the 10 FAR districts that we have that are limited to 12 FAR. And when you do that, these upzonings would trigger mandatory inclusionary housing in areas where those districts are uncommon now. And so would require affordable housing with new developments. And that's, that's really what's driving this. And so that's happening right now. We have heard that public engagement is ongoing, but they plan on finishing it by the end of September and want to have a final plan by the end, or a draft plan by the end of December. And, the context is, these major developments, Midtown South, 100 Gold Street, Gansevoort Square, and then East 125th Street in East Harlem. They're already being called part of the in-progress Manhattan Plan, which is not typically how we plan, right? You plan first, and then you have projects that are implemented under those plans. And in this case, we have these projects that are going forward that are called part of the Manhattan Plan, but the Manhattan Plan isn't done yet, which is odd. And so, as I said, there's ongoing public engagement, and there's this website where city planning is engaging people. And I gotta say that this website is really poor. Like, for example, you go to this website and you're shown this map on the right, which, where do you want to see more housing on Manhattan? Like, all right, well, where's the existing housing? Where are the jobs? Where are the subways? You're just given a census tract map, which allows you to select Central Park or Randall's Island. Um, and then you have there's like very little nuance in what little data that there is there, like housing production varies by neighborhood, and you get this map. But you don't have any information behind the of any information behind what goes into this map. Okay, so DCP has also been tabling throughout the borough, meaning like there's an event, they set up a table, they engage with passersby. It's not very deep. It's very superficial type of engagement. And frankly, it's hard to see how DCP could collect meaningful data using the methods that they're using right now. And this is kind of weird because in contrast, when you have a neighborhood planning process that can extend for years with many in-person meetings and identified stakeholders and not random passersby.
Yeah.
And the zoning proposals that come out of the Manhattan Plan, so that there'll be a plan and there will likely be zoning proposals to implement that plan. They're likely to be very impactful, maybe more impactful than a neighborhood rezoning, but they're going to have a lot less community input. And, there's a real question of what the public and the community board should do about it. And we're going to discuss that a little later. I think it's also important to talk briefly about the Fair Housing Plan. So what is it? There's a plan that is designed to address historical patterns of segregation and housing discrimination in New York City. And there are two complementary efforts that are going on right now. We have the 2025 update to Where We Live, NYC, which is the New York City's Fair Housing Plan. And then you have this thing called the City Council's Fair Housing Framework. And so why do we do this? Is to affirmatively further fair housing. But, it's not just a plan that sits there. Like City of Yes for Housing Opportunity was in large part justified because of Where We Live 2020, right? It was seen as implementation of this fair housing plan. It is, it's happening right now. They've recently released the draft strategies and commitments for public review. There's going to be a draft housing plan released in September, and then the final report is going to be released in October.
When you're voting in November.
Right. And unlike the Manhattan Plan, the Fair Housing Plan is required by law. And as a part of it, every 5 years, the city must release a new fair housing plan, followed 1 year later by housing production targets for the city and each community district. And these housing production targets are for 5 years and are going to have to include total housing units, affordable housing units, deeply affordable housing units, housing serving homeless populations, and then preserved housing units. Let me talk about that just for a second, because the city is going to assign Community District 1 a 5-year target on total housing and affordable housing. And then it's going to use those targets to essentially justify policies that help you reach those targets. And then they also have an assessment of progress towards production goals, and it has to outline obstacles towards meeting those goals. I just gotta say, we haven't done this before in New York City, and this was, if some of you might remember, the Corey Johnson's comprehensive planning effort from a few years back, and they were suggesting targets, but that never went forward. And this is happening. This is all part of law right now. And in 1 year's time, these targets will be set. Okay, so a lot of issues with fair housing don't deal with zoning. But housing targets that will be set also include total housing units, which is directly related to zoning and land use. And all the targets that the city sets will be determined by a long-term needs assessment, which has all of these data elements and criteria. And the law that says that the city has to do this does not require public input on the setting of the targets. The city may adopt a process, and the community board may wish to advocate for a process where they can provide input, but right now, the way the law is written, they could just set targets that they want. Future land use actions need to be consistent with the fair housing plan. So that means that there's going to be teeth behind this, meaning you're going to set these, you're going to have a plan, you're going to have these targets, and then future land use actions need to show that some sort of consistency with those targets. It's important. All right. So charter revision. So charter revision isn't a planning action in and of itself. It's how we implement land use changes, right? And so most of you should know that the Charter Revision Commission has released ballot proposals to change the charter as it relates to land use actions. And, you know, we're doing this because housing interests want to streamline the land use process to make it faster and more predictable. And then there's this concern that the current land use process deprioritizes citywide needs over local desires. All right, so that's the fundamental reason why that these proposals have been put out, and they have been released. The three that impact land use are the fast track for affordable housing, and then simplifying review of modest housing proposals and infrastructure projects, and then the Affordable Housing Appeals Board. I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about housing fast track because that's really, I think, important to all community boards. All right, so fast track sets up two non-ULURP processes to approve housing that is contrary to current zoning, right? So you can get a zoning waiver from the Board of Standards and Appeal for low-income housing projects. And then another way is fast track procedure with the City Planning Commission for affordable housing projects in the 12 community districts citywide that have produced the lowest rate of affordable housing development. BSA waivers, they apply everywhere, but only involve projects that would qualify to meet the required bindings. CPC fast track is limited by geography. It's only going to be on the 12 community districts that don't meet those targets. But any project that has affordable housing can apply to CPC fast track. And so here's the thing, is that CB1 may find itself on that list of 12 community districts because while you've produced a lot of housing in your district, you have not produced a lot of affordable housing. And in fact, here is a table that compares all of the Manhattan community districts together over the past, this is not a 5-year increment, this is the last 11 years. And you're second from the last. So Community District 2 is last, and Community District 1 is second to last. And for most of this time period, Community District 1 was last, but there were some recent developments that bumped that number up. And, you know, there's a lot of good historical reasons for this because of the conversions of non-residential buildings to residential use is usually not affordable. And there's so little undeveloped and publicly owned land in the district for affordable housing. And when there is, the city doesn't make it 100% affordable like they do elsewhere, right? So there are policy decisions that are behind this number. So the CPC fast track, it permits the City Planning Commission to make all final decisions on applications that involve mandatory inclusionary housing in the geographies where that qualify. So let's talk about that. So all upzonings for housing involve mandatory inclusionary housing. So as a result, nearly every rezoning application for the 12 identified community districts will not go to city council for a final decision, but ultimately the final decision will be the CPC. And we've been playing around with these numbers to see which districts are likely. CD1 and 2. You may find these two districts may find themselves on the list. We're seeing that CD8 and CD6 are also close when we're playing with the numbers, and may find themselves on the list. Maybe not the first period, but the second period. Now, the way it works is that you get an application just like you do now. Community board can hold a hearing. You can comment on the application, but the council will not have any role. And as you know, the CPC often does not follow community board recommendations, while city council tends to be a little bit more responsive to local concerns. City of Yes for families, it's worthwhile to mention because you think that we were done with City of Yes. Apparently, we're not done with City of Yes. There's this series of zoning text changes that address the needs of families. The idea is to expand the FRESH program, which is for essentially a zoning bonus for grocery stores, expand and change the privately owned, publicly accessible open spaces in residential buildings, and then expand the transit bonus. Right now the website says that this initiative is being launched in 2025 and more details will be announced soon. I've contacted people at DCP and they're like, yeah, I don't know if this is going to move forward right now. They have a lot of other priorities. I know they want to do things with these zoning bonus programs, but I'm not sure it's going to bubble up to the top of the list. So regarding the other land use actions, though, my recommendations for all community boards is to consider developing educational programs to inform the public and your members on the charter revision ballot proposals. Right now, today, we've only really talked about the CPC fast track, but there are others as well. The proposals will allow most housing applications, at least the fast track one, that do not comply with zoning to bypass council and use either the BSA or the CPC process. And, that means the final decisions on land use will be made by the CPC or the BSA, and nobody voted for them, right? They're two unelected bodies that may or may not have knowledge of your district. I don't know if you've had much dealing with the BSA, but there's only 5 of them. And, they're not very representative of the city as a whole. And then also I recommend consider actively participating in the Manhattan Plan, right? So while the supporting materials on the Manhattan Plan, they're poor, I would say they're terrible, their webpage accepts open-ended input, right? You could type in whatever you want. You can submit whatever kind of comments you want. I suggest you use it. And then consider public sessions, informing the public on the goals of the plan and how they can participate, right? So it's not only about your board, it's about the public and your members as well and how they can participate. And, this is just from the Manhattan Plan website. You could select Battery Park for your housing and explain your selection. Anyway, it's really bad. But you can make it better by participating in it. That's what I have. I'm hoping that you all have some thoughts that you want to discuss.
I want to go around the room. I also want to give a couple of comments. First of all, we did talk to DCP, Zach and I, and Netta about the Manhattan Plan. Thus far, they have. Anybody want to take a guess? There are 2.5 million people on the island of Manhattan. They have 700 respondents. But that also includes tourism and things like that. So it's not necessarily the most robust response. It may be representative, may not be. But we certainly would like to, heck, I'd love another 700 just from CD1 to be able to open it. So we invited them to come to land use for September. Public comment closes the end of September and they're publishing a report. Do I think that maybe our comments will get there? Who knows? But we'll do a resolution on that particular one in September, right? Because we don't really have any other options. For the other part of it, which is the ballot initiatives and understanding what happens, we reached out to CB2 because we are the two. There's 4 districts in Manhattan, community board districts that have the lowest amount of production, and CB1 and 2 for all the housing that we have are the lowest amounts. So it's the likelihood that the two of us would, we have the same council member, and we have an opportunity here to do some education between us. If you know anybody who has a fantastic venue who would be willing to give it for a hybrid meeting for free and at least 100 to 200 people in the room, then that would be amazing because we'd love to do it. We have a very narrow window, which Richard Corman's helping us as well on this. And that window is really from the beginning of September to October 22nd. That's the window to get a public session done, to educate the public. We are not taking a position on the ballot. We've already taken a position on the preliminary report that came out, which we have on file. If anybody needs it or wants it, we'll use that as a comparison tool to what's on the ballot. But that's the goal. So those are my 2 comments about this. All right, we'll go around the table.
Go that way. I'm so hostile.
I'm a little unclear on what the Manhattan plan is. I mean, I see the objective of adding 100,000 housing units in 10 years, which sounds like a worthy objective, but it doesn't, when I go to the website, it doesn't indicate any, that I could see easily, any kind of plan. It seems to be simply asking for input to create a plan. Am I missing something? Is that
No,
what it
you
is?
got it. They
You
don't
got
have a plan. So the input is to help make a plan. The only, oh, excuse me.
By identifying locations.
No, it's not even about
No.
that. It's anything in your wildest dreams. Like, for example, me personally, and everybody should do whatever my part of my input is going to be that there should be some kind of program done with the financial institutions to incentivize housing that fits into the middle. So something that doesn't, that takes you all the way up to the AMI of 130. Because those kind of programs aren't baked into zoning, those programs are baked into financial institutions, but you have to have carrots, right? You have to have people willing to do things like that. Right now, the carrots only exist for shelters and 80-20, 70-30, but there's nothing really that gets you kind of over in that middle loop. Unlike what we had that was far more, I think, diverse in terms of socioeconomically diverse post 9/11. And there was a lot more differences on that. So that's my personal, and they said that you could say anything. You could say you want a state-based,
Mitchell Lava
Mitchell
program.
Lama. Like, bring Mitchell Lama back. You could say anything that you want in the Manhattan plan to be able to do it. Right? And so that's part of, because they don't have a plan and they're trying to figure out what people,
And when is the deadline for comment?
September 30th.
Mm-hmm.
Desi, anything?
Not right now. I can, talk to the folks over at Metropolitan College and New York State, we can offer that space.
Yeah.
He said 100 people.
Their room downstairs is that's ground level, is a fantastic space. It's a little small. That's my only concern.
I
And
think
they,
it hold 100.
all right, well, check it out.
What about Manhattan?
Manhattan.
Supposed to, yeah.
No,
BMCC.
BMCC.
yeah.
BMCC, PACE, we're gonna have to ask all of them.
Okay.
How about the
DC
ferries?
30s?
They have a
the-
big space.
That
Down by
are
the-
supposed to give us.
Yeah, that's true.
Travelers.
No,
She's
down by, you're talking about down by the ferry.
Building?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're supposed to, yeah, with the, with the, right,
Um,
they're supposed to let
I
us,
was thinking in
you know,
terms of-
so
Yeah,
am
yeah.
I. Cipriani,
Cipriani.
right,
Yeah,
Right.
in
Are they
your,
supposed to
in
give
your
us
dreams.
these?
they were supposed
Oh,
to.
sure.
What about DC 37?
Yeah, okay, so, let's take a list. So DC 37, Cipriani.
Good,
right?
Yes.
BMC,
Leave me with the
BMCC,
naps.
somebody's going to, so.
Well,
Yeah.
I said
Yes.
Travelers, which now is Citibank.
Morton, do you have anything you'd like to add? Jess?
Yeah, I just want to say on the Manhattan plan, I mean, it's political branding is what it is. And I think we're kind of setting ourselves up for failure if we're going to comment on it generally, because it's a series of unrelated actions that are meant to spur housing production. Right, like we have the Midtown South rezoning, which just happened, which is going to allow housing production in a large area of the heart of Manhattan where it's currently illegal to do it. We have the Antigua Square, which is city-owned land, that's going to be developed and going to be largely affordable housing for Gold Street. So it's largely we can.
Mostly museum.
Whatever it is, but 30%, 40%, whatever it is. But it's a series of different actions. So I think we're setting ourselves up for failure by presenting it as one package, because that makes it easier to make it look like it's disorganized and not a real thing, but it is. More generally on the charter revision initiatives, I mean, a lot was made respectfully about disparaging it as kind of cutting out community boards, cutting out local control. It was presented as a bug, and I know it's uncomfortable for us because we are a community board, but that is kind of the point of these things. And I again, it's uncomfortable for us because we're a community board, but historically, you know, the outsized influence that local council members have in land use decisions, the outside influence that community boards have in land use decisions is precisely why we have the housing shortage that we do. And this is a recognition that those, you know, in many cases anachronistic and very old rules have led to this crisis, and we need to fast track more housing. So it is not a intended consequence. It's not a bad thing. A bad feature. Is precisely the point that we are trying to build more housing more quickly.
And we can agree to disagree on whether you think it's bug or feature, and that's the whole point of dialogue and discussion. We passed a resolution about the preliminary report. The public just needs to understand what is and what isn't,
Absolutely.
and that's kind of where we want to go, because the more engagement we can do, the better off it is. And we intend, if we're doing an information session, to invite DCP as well. Everybody should be able to come and speak, right? All right, Wendy?
So I know they're unrelated, but you know, resiliency is, you know, not really in the, I mean, but it just seems like housing and resiliency could go together if we really are going to get serious about things.
You can put something in the Manhattan plan that talks about bonuses, additional bonus for resiliency measures. I mean, there's no reason the Manhattan plan is an open-ended kind of like, tell us what you think. So put that in if you think that that's something that's really important to go in. I am not certainly opposed to anything, but I don't know how it's related to housing production.
Well, it's one of those things like the Fidei Seaport Master Plan, there's no housing in part of that. And
Correct.
there's, as we know, the Bloomberg plan, what was that called? Seaport something, whatever, that had housing in it. You know, I don't think anybody's gonna change that necessarily, but yeah, you know,
That's now the ferries.
I was gonna say, but if you're really serious about more housing and we have no money for this, it's very difficult. You know, that's like, do we even, what I'm kind of asking is, do you even want to open that can of worms? Like, how do we as a community board even feel about that? Because
But we don't have to go into that can of worms. If that's how you feel, you can put that in your,
I don't know how I feel.
well, again, you know, that's the beautiful thing about the conversations about the Manhattan Plan. You could put in that you think that we should build out on the water to add more housing by the shoreline. And that's not limited to CB1. It could be anywhere in the city.
Yeah.
You might get creamed for it, but,
Oh, absolutely. I
you
mean,
know.
that's the thing, rightly so, but it might be a zero. It might be nothing. You know, that's the other alternative. You know, that's the,
there's never anything zero. I mean, we could build over the tunnel, the Hugh L. Carey Tunnel. We had a proposal, a plan from
Yeah.
Pratt,
All the time.
which was thousands of units. Right, I still have the map of the underutilized sites that we did a study in 2014, so it's not like we can't, it's just, you know, what kind of incentives are out there to build it, and what kind of programs are out there. I mean, it'd be dope to see a giant Mitchell Llama kind of thing over the tunnel, me personally, but, you know, whatever. And it had fields and open space. Okay,
yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Francis?
I'm still processing.
Susan?
Well, I don't, I respectfully disagree with Jess. But I would like to say this. I want to know what's gonna fund the affordable housing. And they're cutting back on Section 8. They're cutting back on all these things. So there's something very short-sighted in all of this. And it's like we're spinning our wheels. So I don't like the plan, and I don't like that there's no community input. We live here. I respectfully disagree that we are the people who exist here and pay our rent and pay our taxes. And I don't like being excluded from the process. That's it.
Mariama, you're next. Mariama? She's there.
Okay, sorry. The app has updated and it's very different. I can't even turn my thing on.
Yes, it is. This is why I can't get at meetings.
My apologies. Okay, so I wondered, unless I missed something, whether the chart that indicated that CB1 was second to last in terms of development of the affordable housing was misleading, because I didn't see where it was listed or described that CB1 has lost the greatest amount of affordable housing. So that chart might, lead some to think that maybe CB2 is of the greatest need, which I think would be a misrepresentation, since CB1, according to the housing chair, which just happens to be our state senator, has lost the greatest amount of affordable housing in the entire state of New York.
If I could comment on that, the way the fast track criteria works, it looks at newly produced income restricted housing divided by total housing in the district. It does not consider existing affordable housing that is lost or goes out of program, or that's not a consideration in the fast track formula as it has been described thus far. It is all about new production only.
Thank you.
All right, Paul, Andrew, Richard, and Betty. You're all very quiet. Anything you have to say, please unmute and jump in.
I have a question.
Okay, hearing and seeing none. Anybody else?
Yeah.
I thought I
So,
heard a
George-
question. Somebody had a question there?
Yeah.
Pat.
So George, as we, if we were to build new affordable housing, but we continue to lose affordable housing, doesn't that kind of moot the point and we just stay where we are?
Yeah, I mean that is a risk, right? So when you looked at in the Fair Housing Plan, where you have the targets, the last target is preservation of affordable housing, but that's also not one of the charter considerations, right? It's a problem that the city is dealing with in certain community districts that are hemorrhaging the as Mitchell-Lamas expire and programs or units are being lost to affordability. There are new programs there that are being developed, but the net change is negative, right? And that even though that new programs are new units are going online, they don't replace what's been lost. That's especially true in the Manhattan core. We've seen, much of Manhattan south of 96th Street falling into that issue where it's falling behind even as those units come online.
Thanks, George.
Susan and then Richard.
I just have one question. What's the impact when there is a new administration after November? What does this all have? What happens?
That's a really good. Can I just? All right. So with the charter issues, it's permanent, right? So if they change the charter, if the voters approve to change the charter in November, that's not going to change again unless there's another charter revision, right? And when it comes to the planning exercises like the Manhattan Plan, your guess is as good as mine. The next administration may pick it up, the next administration may drop it. The pattern has generally been big efforts. New administration comes in and they do not carry forward unfinished plans from the old one, but it's not always the case.
So, yeah, that's why we're gonna also try and have it before the October 22nd, which is the date that voting opens in New York. So the goal is to have a session prior to that for the public and information.
But
For
the
sure.
main thing is that.
Yeah, I don't think it would come as a surprise that I certainly disagree with Jess. This is, I'm not sure I understood quite what he said in terms of feature and bug, but it's clearly a feature of this. The purpose of this is to cut out community input, both at the community board level and at the council level. And if you think about the reason, or at least I would interpret one reason why the loss of affordable housing is not considered in this is think about where developers make their money. They make their money when they build something new, and they make their money when affordable housing is lost. They make their money in both of those places. And so both of those things are to the advantage of the real estate industry, and it is not in their interest to consider the loss of and prevent, in fact, the loss of affordable housing in any way. In fact, I would say it's in their interest to encourage the loss of affordable housing. These, as George was saying, the charter proposals will get locked in stone if they are passed. I think it is urgent on us as a community board to educate our community, to educate our communities about the impacts of this, the purpose of this, be it if you think it's, you could describe the purpose of generating new housing. If you think the purpose is to generate more affordable housing, I personally think that's not the purpose of this, but I think we have an obligation to inform people because charter proposals are passed generally on the basis of lack of knowledge. And we need to make sure people vote on the basis of information that is good and solid, and then they can make their best decision. I think that's our obligation here. I of course also disagree that simply building more will generate more affordable housing. The MIH is a drop in the bucket compared to the things that we've lost and will continue to lose. So I don't think this is going to solve the problem at all. It solves a very different problem for a very different group, and it's not the community.
Okay, thank you, Richard. We are, Netta, you're the last one to wrap up on this. And then George has his last words and we move on.
So I think there are developers who focus on low income housing and they don't shy away from it. So I don't think having a development for a developer just means that we're taking out all the affordable housing that could be offered. Just depends on how they're dealing.
I'm sorry,
with
I'm
it.
having a hard time hearing. Could you come closer to?
Closer.
Here,
And if you want to come.
Yes, I'm gonna just speak louder. No, I was just saying that developers, I don't think care about the number of affordable housing. They're gonna do their numbers and see if it's profitable or not. There are developers in New York City who only focus on affordable housing buildings. So it depends on what happens. It could be good, it could be bad. It's not going one way or another. And I think if we want to go from Susan and Jess at each end, I think there is a world that we can land in the middle and be collaborative with the city and the developers to get something built. Because right now, nothing's being built.
Only market.
And only market
Only market. We have a large amount of market that is built and it has
and conversion.
conversion.
Which
It
is
is not-
market.
Yeah, I mean, that's all market and who knows if it's gonna be rented.
It's-
Clearly not enough of it.
Yeah.
With,
I mean, the reason that we
benefit.
second to last is because of the largest office conversion history in this country, which is 300 units of affordable housing. The new tax incentive at the state level requires 30% affordable housing in office conversions to get the property tax exemption.
Still have to ask
If they
what's
choose to have
affordable
it, not all
housing.
office buildings that are converting are taking them.
Most of
That's
them in
right.
our district have chosen it. We're gonna get a lot of.
No, not true,
Not, I
Jess,
think, not according to the last,
that I
report
understand.
that we heard from the Downtown Alliance in terms of.
No.
And I can think of three. I mean, the one that was just built didn't use it, so.
Well, all right.
All right, let's keep going. George, is there anything else? We look forward if you can join us when we get the confirmation from DCP as to which meeting they're coming to, ideally for the Manhattan Plan, just to be able to do more outreach. They're gonna come in land use
Great.
in September.
I'd be happy to. I'm thrilled to see that you're so interested and engaged on these issues. If I were to just finish to stress the point that charter revision is going to be really, that's permanent,
key.
and your role in the land use process is really important, and in education, I think will be key. And I'm just thrilled to see that you recognize that and you're looking to do something. That's great.
Absolutely. Thank you very, very much.
Okay.
Move on to it's here for outdoor dining. Okay, just what so 30 Hudson is, thank you. 24 Peck, thank you. 32 White, Roxy. There we go. Thank you both. Okay, got all those three. We've done those two. 150 Duane Street.
Right here.
All right, so let's do 150 Duane Street, because that's kind of a landmarky kind of thing. Do you have your slides?
I have it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. And would you like us to forward the slides? If so, you just need to say please forward, and we'll go from there. Okay? Google. Yeah, okay.
So wasn't this a landmark? Will you give us a little history?
We're gonna let the gentleman handle all
Okay,
this.
go for it. I've
This
seen
is-
him before.
This is a landmark
Yeah,
application.
yes.
We met.
So, right now, my name is Thomas Adams with SW Engineering. Right now, we're working on, a proposed ADA compliant ramp for 150 Duane Street, which is at the corner of West Broadway and Duane Street. We can go to the next slide. Show where it's at. It's on the southeast corner of Duane and West Broadway. Yes, the building, is in the Landmark District, and we currently have an application open with Landmarks. We have tentative approval with Landmarks and DOB for the ramp. Forward slide, please. This is the sidewalk plan along West Broadway. So right now Duane Street is going to be on your left. The proposed location for the ramp we are proposing is going to be where the diamond plating is along the sidewalk. It's kind of hard to see, but it's the hatching towards the right side. The sidewalk is about 20 feet wide right here. Currently in front of the storefront, if you go to the next slide, we can get a photo of the sidewalk. Currently on the sidewalk, we have existing steel diamond plating painted black. That takes up about 7 feet of the sidewalk, leaving we have about a little over 12 feet remaining. We have a granite curb right in front of the steel diamond plating, and then we have the sidewalk. Our proposal right now is to install this ADA compliant ramp directly on top of the steel diamond plating. It will not encroach it won't encroach over top of the granite curb or the sidewalk. And the proposed AD ramp will also be made of the same material. Next, forward slide, please. This is just kind of showing the building entrances as we move north along the sidewalk. The main entrance to the building is on, is at 115 West Broadway, right here on the south side. You can see as we start moving north, the elevation change between the entrances and the sidewalk start to increase. Next, forward slide, please. This is, again, kind of going just north. This is the first commercial space. You can forward the slide, please. This is the next one over.
It's very steep.
Yeah, you can see currently that toy store has like a temporary ramp they use because they have a lot of strollers coming in and out with
Right.
and then it only keeps getting steeper as we go, so you can keep forwarding the slide. And then, so here, so it outlined in red is the proposed location for this ADA ramp. Again, we want to keep the profile of the ramp entirely above the steel diamond plating that's currently there. And the ramp will be made out of the same steel diamond plated material. This,
I'm hoping that,
I'm
hoping
not-
there'll be renderings.
yes,
Yeah, 'cause I'm
we
not-
have, we
yeah, I'm
have,
not understanding it.
yeah, we have a rendering at the end, sorry.
All
All right.
We'll get to that.
If we could skip to the renderings.
How
we could
many
understand
stores
it.
are on there?
So
Is there
so
toy
we have-
store and what else?
we have 3 stores, right? Right here kind of shows the entrances. There's a bubble outline. There's 4 of these. The one on the far right is the main entrance to the building. And then the commercial spaces are the next 3 remaining. So this ramp is gonna, be installed in front of these locations to make them ADA accessible. Next slide, please.
So is the address 150 Duane Street?
That's the address, that's the main address on file with the city through the blocking. The building, the main entrance to the building, they go
Is
by
one-
115.
It's to the residential.
Yeah, 15 was.
So 115
West Broadway.
Yes.
Okay.
And so the ramp is in front of all 3 entrances?
It'll be in front of all 4 entrances, the main entrance to the building and then the 3 commercial spaces to the left, as you can see.
They have to make the building ADA.
No, I get it. I just wanted to
Yeah, we
understand.
can move forward.
Okay.
This is kind of like a cross section of the structure of the ramp. The ramp itself, it will be sitting directly on top of the steel diamond plating that's there currently.
On what?
Steel diamond plating.
No, I understand, but what, the ramp is gonna go smack on top of it?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna install the ramp, right on
I
top
know,
of the.
I knew-
Including on the glass, because there are parts of, in between the columns that have the glass that go down into the basement.
This vault, or this is sitting atop a sidewalk vault. This vault in question has had that removed in the past.
Yeah, it doesn't look
So
like it's-
below the steel diamond plating is just concrete. We have, we could go back in front of the main entrances to the building. There are small select
Mhm.
locations of the glass skylight structures.
Yeah.
Right here. So the ones that are visible, they're right in front of the entrances. Those are the only ones remaining, and we would not touch these. These would remain
There's,
in
what,
place.
what about that one?
Where?
Is that one right there?
Go forward one more slide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
that was one as well. But again, the ramp will be brought up to that level. We are not gonna touch.
You're not covering.
We're
that.
You're not covering
Any
that.
existing
Okay,
skylights or
okay.
anything, yeah.
That's what, thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Keep going.
We can keep going one more slide. This is kind of just an elevation of the ADA of the ramp. Next slide. Here's the render here. Here's the render. of what we have.
Can you make that bigger?
But so the ramp is right there and it was,
Where's the access to the ramp?
So the ramp
Right next
is,
to
yes,
the
we have two stairs to the left that we'd be adding directly in front of
Right.
the.
Why don't you go?
go up or use the thing. Hold on.
Can point to it.
Yeah, they can just point.
So
Yeah.
show us.
So
where-
the ramp itself is starts right here. So
And
to the
goes-
south of this there, it goes up
Okay.
and goes out. It allows full access of the whole building.
So once you go
To the
up the
left
ramp,
and
you can
right.
go back.
You can go left, you can go
Okay,
right.
all right,
Yeah.
now I get it.
Yeah, we have 2 additional stairs for people wanting to use stairs, and
Got
then we
it.
also have an FDNY access platform for the fire escape.
Okay. Got it, now.
And then the only thing that you don't show in that photo is the flats. Rendering. It looks like it's all flat and gray.
Maybe in that rendering, I didn't include the glass, but again, our proposal is to leave the glass in place where.
That's flush.
Again, we're not altering the existing.
I know, we're just gonna make sure it's
We're
in our
just sitting
resolution.
on top and coming up to the level of those commercial spaces.
It's flush with the top stuff.
Yeah. So the reason you didn't come to the landmark committee for this
Last month
last month?
or next month.
That I do not know. Right now, we had originally gotten LPC approval and DOB approval. And when we went to go for DOT approval with revocable consent, they brought us back to here and they want us to start here and get the
You're
community.
supposed to,
Yeah.
yes.
Because they're also taking up sidewalk space.
Of course.
Yeah, this is with the revocable consent division with DOT.
If you improve on the sidewalk, can you do the run of the ramp in a way that you can forego having the ramp that's that steep? Looks like one surface.
Yeah, this is an example of an existing, we have, so you can go back to the render, but, yeah. So to make it ADA compliant, we have to stay under a certain slope, which is a 1-inch rise every 12 inches. And because of that, we have, if the run gets pretty long. And additionally, we can't have a continuous run. We have to have breaks and.
Can you do a longer run that won't require handrails and having it look like an
No.
external thing? Like
We
you want
we have to have the handrails
They
for the
won't allow
ADA
you.
compliance.
Just
And if we encroach further on the sidewalk, we reduce the clear paths.
So what is the distance
How much
between the
clear?
ramp
So
to
again,
the curb?
yeah, so the diamond plating profile takes up about 7 feet. We are only gonna take up that 7 feet. We have a 1 foot wide granite curb running in front of the diamond plating. That's not gonna be touched, that's being left. And then we have approximately 11 foot 3 inches of a clear path in front of that curb.
Seems great.
So I think my only concern and consideration is, those stores are not gonna be the same stores there forever. How does this impact? Does that stay no matter what the store is? So if it becomes a restaurant, there's no way that a restaurant can do any kind of outdoor dining.
That's okay by me.
Yes, this is being proposed by the building itself, so this would be.
But they can't do outdoor dining.
They'll do roadway, right.
How do they do outdoor dining?
And
One at a time.
Since their foot traffic is
Hold on.
going to decrease.
Yeah, well, we don't have direct correspondence with the tenants themselves. We were engaged by the building itself.
Wait a minute. Stop. Is it a co-op or is it a private owner? How many units of people live in that
I
building?
don't have that exact information on hand.
Well, you have to have, we have to know that the tenants in that building or cooperators, whoever they may be, were informed.
Right.
Before you can have
If we can make that a thing.
okay, fine.
So you don't know if it's
It doesn't matter, don't
the
put it,
owner.
he doesn't know.
Yeah.
He's been sent, they didn't have, and they sent him, very nice guy, they didn't send the,
They sent the architect.
yeah, the young architect.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a general question? If in a situation like this, can the ramp improve on the pedestrian walkway? If it's gonna make both the pedestrian walkway and entrance step? Is it legal?
Well, here's the fun question that I have. If you take a look at the corner of the building, it
Yeah.
looks like they're bringing the steps, and you please confirm this. On the north corner of the building, it looks like you're bringing it out to match that
Those
Well,
steps.
we can-
Those steps.
If we want to go back, there's a photo of the existing diamond plating adjacent to those steps. Yes, we are, yeah, you can kind of see the edge right here.
On the left.
Yes, so we are bringing it right up to the edge of that. We aren't gonna affect that railing or entrance. Those steps themselves are not ADA compliant. We are not touching this.
Yeah,
Are you gonna take the railing down though, so you can?
The ramp's not gonna be the same level, but
No, you have to leave the,
you have to.
you have to leave the rails that are at the existing steps because they function from the
Okay.
existing steps. And
every.
then he needs rails for the new
Right.
steps and the new
Right.
ramps.
Every tenant, or every commercial tenant space and building, has a building entrance that's accessible from this ramp. There is a service entrance on Duane Street that is not ADA compliant, that's gonna remain at a.
Doesn't need, yeah.
Got it. All right,
All right.
all right. Anybody else have any questions? It's not the end of your presentation. I apologize.
Yeah, I have a few more, it's just examples,
Uh,
other examples along in the neighborhood.
That's all right.
That's-
Yeah, so.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
We get it.
Okay.
Can I call the question?
Absolutely. Is there anybody?
Second.
Okay, I'm going to assume by the, oh, Betty. Don't want to miss Betty. Sorry. I neglected to look online before a question was called and seconded, so I'm
Okay.
going to take the extraordinary thing to ask you to pause so we can get all questions for the online folks. Betty?
Thank you. Since I'm the only one in the room who would be using a structure like this and has experience with using structures like this, my question is very different from other people's, and that is, I see the diamond plating, and personally, I'll be honest, I hate that stuff. It does nothing to stop me from skidding and getting damaged. So I don't understand why it's so popular. But when you look at the samples that you put up of existing ramps, all of them have some kind of non-skid coating on them that's very obvious. But the one that you're using does not at all. And in fact, the one it's covering is not skid resistant. It's something that I avoid. So I'm wondering why you chose to use the surface cover that has, if there's any kind of wetness or dampness, is a complete nightmare. Forget if it's on a rise or not. It would be horrible even on the horizontal.
That's, this is kind of a direct corollary to, going back to landmarks and getting approvals with landmarks. This is the material that they approve for these kinds of constructions. Alterations of those, they usually deny.
So you're saying the existing ones would all be denied?
I can't comment on the existing ones, yeah.
Okay, well, and it's useless to me, but I just want to put in that negative so people know that this is just, if that's what the LPC requires, then they don't care about us. They
Maybe in
just-
our resolution,
Yeah.
we can put that in.
Yeah,
I think it's
that in.
worth putting in.
Oh, no, that's serious.
I think that's just serious. I think we can put that in there.
And what do you call that surface that you're using again?
A steel diamond plate.
Steel diamond plate. And what would you recommend, Betty?
Betty.
Not metal.
Not metal.
Can it be
And if
coated?
Yeah.
it's metal, it has to be coated very heavily with something that has friction to it, such as with a sandy
That
in the paint or something.
prior experiences,
No.
no. LPC requires black painted.
It can't be coated.
Which
No.
would match the building and then.
But a black painted surface.
It can be
doesn't have to metal.
Well, the diamond plating itself, the diamond plating pattern is a form of skid resistance for the
No, it
metal
isn't.
plating.
It's just saying.
No, it isn't.
That's gonna be their,
Okay,
that's.
so we'll add it in. So can we go back to
But
our,
if there's some sort
So
of
Betty,
outside
hang on. We're gonna put in here that, CB1 is concerned that the steel diamond plate
no,
is very slippery when it gets wet.
right,
Because it causes me to have to accelerate to get over those bumps. And that's what
Yeah.
does up the shimmying that makes my scooter go out of control.
So can we ask if there are
And a
any
coating.
options to help with that?
well, we're gonna put it in our resolution
Yeah, we should.
that we would suggest.
But why don't they know that already?
Because they
Why
don't
is it-
care about the
Oh,
actual
it's
users.
Okay, Betty, And we
to do it. That's-
Affordability, yeah, okay.
All right, so we're adding the concerns raised by Betty. We think that a coding should and could be added to help, add friction. Friction, if I got the
Or
word
some
right.
other type of,
But if
okay,
they
all right.
Other type of coding, they have to change the material. If they change the material, that means it's gonna become.
Well, it's prohibited.
Then it's gonna go back to OPC again and everything else.
No, but can't they put something over the middle?
No, that's what they're saying.
That's what the,
You
it's
can't,
new,
when it rains,
and it won't
you
work.
can't, like, put.
What do you
Okay.
put a carpet?
We are not solving
Right, they
I
Okay.
can't solve their problem.
on the diamond plate steel tonight.
No.
I'd love to say that we could, but that's not in our purview. Okay. but
Don't
we
we
will
want them
raise
to
the
come
concern.
back to us
now
with
No,
for the
This
answer?
is about the sidewalk and space for which they're leaving.
That's
11
all we have jurisdiction.
And they're evening it out to the stairs
Remember.
that are existing on the other.
We are the community. We only have so
I
much.
know.
So are we calling a question?
We did.
And it was seconded.
Okay,
So
I just want
I'm gonna
to
say,
again.
I'm gonna assume this is a vote of affirmation. Okay, are there any in opposition? Anybody online in opposition? And if you are voting, please, I need to see your camera, Mariama, Andrew, and Paul, please. Hearing no opposition, are there any one?
No,
Oh,
I don't think it's good. So
okay, so one opposition, thank you very
And
much.
Paul has raised his hand.
Netta?
Affirmatively, affirmed.
Oh, affirmed.
You're on mute, Paul.
I'm in favor of this resolution as amended.
Okay,
Is Betty voting?
are there any abstentions?
I'll abstain. Kay abstains.
Any recusals? Motion passes. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please bring back our concerns about surface. And there's gotta be some kind of coding of something somehow. You're the guy to help them figure that out, and so we leave that on to you. All right?
I'm surprised there haven't been those complaints before. No, exactly.
Okay, moving on to the next one. First one up on the docket will be Tunnel to Towers. And Susan Starr, welcome back.
Great spot is.
That's perfect. Your cameras will get you.
Good evening.
Hi.
I'm Susan Starr. I have the tremendous honor of serving as the Associate Vice President of the Tunnel to Towers 2 signature events, our New York City Run and our New York City Stair Climb at One Trade. I'm here tonight to speak with you about our 24th annual Tunnel to Towers New York City 5K. For those of you, oh, my goodness, and I would like to introduce Stephanie Whitty, who is with me every year and has been with me all day today. She is the Vice President of Events for Tunnel to Towers. So thanks so much for having us tonight. For those of you who don't know the Tunnel to Towers story, briefly, I'd like to let you know. Tunnel to Towers Foundation was started in memory of FDNY firefighter Stephen Siller, who on 9/11 had just gotten off work. He was a young father of 5. He was on his way to play golf with his brothers when he heard on the scanner that first plane had hit the towers. With that, Stephen returned to Squad 1 to discover the truck was gone. He grabbed his gear out of his locker, got into his personal vehicle, drove to the mouth of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel to discover it was closed for security reasons. He put his keys on the front seat, strapped 60 pounds of gear on his back, and ran through the tunnel to the towers, where he lost his life with all 13 members of Squad 1, in addition to other heroes and innocents that day. The Siller family's philosophy, and one that is embraced by all who work at the foundation, is it is better to light a candle than to push the darkness. Our mission at the foundation is to honor the sacrifice of firefighter Stephen Siller, as well as to honor our military and first responders who continue to serve and make the supreme sacrifice of life and limb for our communities and our country. I'd like to take a few minutes to update you on where we stand as a foundation. Because of people like you, everybody in this room who pulls up a chair to the table is part of the success of our foundation. And if it's okay, can we cue that video? Because I think it speaks far better than I do.
It's a hard video to watch. I'll give you guys
Yeah.
Send one,
It was 2 minutes.
It's not on the screen.
It's not enough.
When is the date?
September 28th, it's always the last Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Yep, there you go.
Hey, bye. I live right across the street. See that? The model hotels. They can't do it.
We have one.
No, we were always told they can't do it.
Of course they can.
They can't
Okay.
put
Thank
families.
you, Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
Towers, because Stephen ran through the tunnel to the towers. So yes, very difficult video to watch. I appreciate your attention to it and would like to point out all the wonderful things that have happened, how we have litigated them all together rather than curse the darkness. To honor the lives lost on September 11th, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation established our In the Line of Duty program, which provides mortgage payoffs and mortgage-free loans to Gold Star and fallen first responder families with young children. We also build and renovate specially adapted smart homes for catastrophically injured service members and first responders. To date, Tunnel to Towers has delivered over 1,500 mortgage-free homes to our nation's heroes. The last time I was here, we talked about how much money we had been able to allocate across all of our programs. So a year ago, it was 500 million. I'm here to tell you today that it's $1 billion across all of our programs.
Great.
But it's also not just the people who lost the responders who lost their lives on 9/11, it's those who've lost their lives since.
Yes.
Yeah.
To 9/11 related illness,
Exactly.
to first responders, to Golden Star families, to most recently, now I'm gonna get all confused because you have me off script, but most recently, as we all know from watching the news, a New York City police officer was shot. Leaving behind a pregnant wife, 2 young sons, 7 and 4 years old, and she did just deliver baby number 3 on Sunday. So because of everybody here in the room, because you allow us to be guests in the neighborhood, we're able to help that family financially, because the bottom line is these families with young children may have lost a father or a mother. In most cases, it's a father. But by paying up their mortgage and or helping them financially, these families would lose the mother as well, because the mother would then need to be the caregiver, the breadwinner. And the mother would be the house as well, and children would be in daycare. So we're trying to help them to heal. And that's what we're all doing together. So we just got me off script.
Sorry about that.
But we just want to hit the highlights about who we are and what it is that we're doing. Fallen first responder. on first responder, Gold Star. Let's just skip over to homeless veterans, which was mentioned in the video. So because our foundation has been able to expand, especially exponentially in recent years, in 2022, we initiated our homeless veterans program with the goal of eradicating veteran homelessness nationwide by providing a stable home and wide range of support services, including individual, emotional, financial, and physical issues. Last year, I reported that we were able to get 3,300 homeless veterans off the street. That number has jumped in a year from 3,300 to over 10,000.
And we're actually dedicating, we're doing a ribbon cutting next week in Atlanta for one of our homeless veteran properties. And opening it up to Austell, Georgia.
So at the foundation, by keeping administrative costs low, we continue to be able to allocate 93 cents of every dollar directly to our programs and services. For 10 years running, Tunnel to Towers has achieved the highest rating, which is 4 stars from Charity Navigator. That is the nation's largest and most utilized evaluator of charities. And Frank Siller remains an uncompensated volunteer of the foundation. With regard to our 24th annual Tunnel to Towers New York City Run, which as per the city of New York is always the last Sunday in September, that'll be Sunday, September 28th this year. The balloon date will be Saturday, September 27th. The event date is Sunday, September 28th. We have made several changes to adjust for growth. One of the things that we've talked about a lot in this room is having our registered participants utilize New York water taxi, because we're trying to not, we want to bring people into the city, but we want to not bring them in their personal vehicles. 2 years ago, we had approximately 5,300 people on the water taxi. That number, because we continue to try to be as responsive as possible, that number jumped to 6,700. Last year, that number jumped to 9,321 people on New York City water taxi. That runs from Pier 11 Wall Street Terminal straight over to Brooklyn. This year, once again, we will be expanding water taxi service. We had to go through 9 different iterations to find something that works because there's lots of piers where boats leave from Manhattan, not a lot of places to land in Brooklyn, but we will also be adding 2 circle lines this year. So we'll be
So to take some notes on that.
1,200 people an hour. So we look forward to having that number also increase this year and to be able to manage that better. In addition, we've changed our wave and our corrals to be more in line with the 30,000 people that we'll be capping our event at this year, so that we can stay within the prescribed timeline.
Oh, jeez.
As the numbers have grown exponentially,
Yeah.
we had need to restructure the event to make sure that we can control it better so that we can continue to have the UL Cary Tunnel open by 1 o'clock and the West Side Highway reopened fully in both directions by 2 p.m.
Okay,
Where's
so
the
30, wow. So you're looking at 30,000 this year? That's even more than last year where you were at 20 to 25.
Last year, truth be told, we have never capped. We just had open registration. Last year, we had over 34,000 people register. We did have rain, so we did
Yeah.
not have 34,000 people
Right.
come. So we did have a discussion because we need to be able to deliver within that timeline and within the permits. And we're capping this year at 30,000 people. It's the first year that we're capping. We feel that we can manage that within the timeline and give you full site restoration, like we were never here. By 2 p.m., the streets will be open. By 6 p.m., we should be gone.
So where is it ending?
So it starts in Brooklyn on Woodhall.
Yeah.
Through the tunnel. They come up the West Side Highway, make a left onto Liberty, run along the Esplanade. They come out on Warren.
So here, hold on, let me see if
Yes.
I'm right. Okay. They exit the UL Cary Tunnel, proceed north on West Street, which is Route 9A. Take a left turn on Liberty, go north in Battery Park City Esplanade, turn into Warren Street, and then south on West Street to the finish line.
Correct.
The finish line is still on West Street, which is in the southbound lane of West Street at Murray.
Correct.
And then per the TPA, Police Department, UL Cary will be closed to traffic by 7:30 in the morning and reopens at 12:30, is that right?
It's permitted till 1. We've been opening early. So it will be opened as soon as possible.
I'll
But
say
before
1, yeah.
one.
So the last week.
Make it
the
such an
tunnel at
efficient
11,
job in the
And we
government.
start breaking down at 11, right behind the last person that enters.
And when will the southbound lanes of West Street, south of Canal, which are also closed, because they start being closed at 7 AM, if not earlier? Do you know if they close earlier than 7?
7 AM is when they close.
And they reopen at 2?
Correct.
Okay.
And the after event is on Vesey Street?
Correct. So I'm assuming that we have CB1 members who participate this year, same as it is. Okay. Hold on, I just need to make sure that we've got all the information so we can call the question. But do me a favor, can we see if anybody has questions online while I'm double checking, because I'm gonna, remember, we're voting, and I've gotta get this out tomorrow, so.
And Tim, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to have one more thing.
Sure.
So we know that our street fair at the end of the run on BC, there's a lot of people there. The run is, has grown now. We will be renting out 3 restaurants,
Which ones?
Elvez, Del Frisco's, and Seymour's, to get 1,000 people off the street. So the street doesn't grow, but we're looking to support local businesses as well as looking for that extra space.
Okay,
Good for you.
thank you.
Really
Okay.
good job.
Did you reduce the tents then again? Because last year you had to reduce the number of tents because of the number of people
Yes. So we used to have
and sponsors.
some sponsors on the street. We removed the sponsor tents. There were still some grill team tents, and I figure he will be bringing in his food truck.
Okay, so there are no sponsor tents?
No,
No. Just full-time tents for obvious reasons.
What did you call them?
So we have, FDNY, they call themselves grill teams, so they come and they barbecue. And we give food to people on the street. People on Vesey Street, not people on the street.
Yeah.
Guy Fieri has a foundation, as you saw.
Yeah.
He has been participating in a bunch of our events nationwide, as Frank Siller said. He is very excited about his team, his foundation coming to Vesey Street and contributing in that way. He feels that it's a meaningful way, and he feels like, New York is the place to do that.
So, 2 questions. Medical tent, medical team, where are they?
so medical is handled, true emergency services, FDNY EMS. So they do an incident action plan that is all prescribed and very big, where everybody is. So any true medical emergency is 911, and they'll be stationed throughout both boroughs strategically. So that's handled by FDNY. In addition, Thompson Towers has what we call sports medicine. So that's ice packs and Band-Aids. That'll be on the corner of West Street.
And then on VC, you're closing VC from Broadway West or from Trinity West Church?
No.
West Street to North End.
Oh, okay, so it's just on that,
Sure.
not-
West Street.
Yeah.
West Street is closed south of Chambers.
but it's not on.
Or
my
south
side.
of, wait a minute, south of,
Not Chambers.
I think it's Canal. They close it south of Canal.
But it's not east of, the West Side Highway.
No.
Yeah.
Couple questions. Obviously, the same significant concerns we have is east-west access, which is always compromised. So to understand and make sure that everybody on site for the organization works with NYPD to know that people live in Battery Park City. So they need to get in and out. The ball fields will be active. There are league events that day, which we know definitely. So that is one of the things that we have always asked to work with to ensure that people can get in and out.
Yes.
And the first wave is still 8:30.
Correct.
Water stations in the tunnel and a sports medicine tent on Vesey, right?
Correct.
The street fair on Vesey is from 10 to 1:30
Oh, yes, yes.
and just east of North End.
Joel's not here to ask.
You guys normally do an amazing job of garbage pickup. It's one of the best ones that we've ever had.
Yeah.
I'd say in the community. Want to say thank you to that. It is really nice to know that you will pick up, make sure that Murray Street, which is over by the ball fields, is included in there. In the past, we've had, it's kind of the back door.
I will check, PSNY comes in with that street sweeper.
Are you gonna put the band at West and Murray again? Sir?
No.
No band. No bands at all
Last
this
year
year?
was the last year.
Yes.
Oh, my, Joe will be so happy.
But what kind of music? I know you're gonna have music, right?
They were very excited. I think they were with us longer than I've been here.
Yeah.
But they were cycling out, their music director was cycling out, so last year was the last hurrah, last band.
So what kind of music are you using?
Well, what we used to do is throughout the run route, I believe they had cheerleaders, so they had different bands in different places. To kind of line up, very festive. Now it's much more somber with banner holders that represent the 343 firefighters that were killed on 9/11, in addition to the police officers and also all the service members lost in the global war on terror. So that very quietly and very in a somber way lines the run route, so we don't need the bands and the fanfare and to make anyone else.
And at the end?
We do have a stage at our street fair. That's on Vesey Street at North End. The stage will be there. Our headliner this year will be country music artist Chris Jansen. So you're not seeing Taylor Swift. Nothing bad is going to happen. It's an appropriate band for that space.
Okay, and the portable bathrooms are on West and Vesey again?
Yes,
On the pedestrian sidewalk,
in front of Goldman. Same place.
right? And Brookfield will remain open.
Yes. I
Alright,
met with Brookfield today.
awesome. Let's go through sanitation, that's fine. So you have the water taxi ferries between Pier 11, Wall Street and Brooklyn,
Yes.
and you're also using, what else?
We do have a prescribed Uber ride share that the route that NYPD 76 has prescribed for us. That really affects the Brooklyn side. But we strongly encourage and apparently very effectively have been encouraging because it's gone from about 5,000 people to 9.
Right, it's just on our side, there's no other forms of transport. Once the race is done, you're either popping back on a boat or bus or subway or. I want to make sure we don't.
And the Circle Line boats are docking where?
So they'll leave Pier 11 Wall Street Terminal and they go to Liberty Warehouse in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And they walked.
Okay, great.
What time did you say the whole event is ending?
Whole event will be over at 1:30.
But they're stragglers.
Quickly disperse.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Everything sounds and looks great. I can't think of any questions that I have other than, obviously, we've always talked about this before. No bullhorns underneath the residential units. And we hope that teams from CB1 come and participate, and we thank you for always being so gracious for coming. And with that, I see.
Call the question.
Vote by affirmation, all in favor. Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Any recusals? Thank you to Betty. I used yours from last year and mocked it, so. Motion
Thank you.
passes.
Thanks for coming.
We'll see you at the end of the month.
Yes, terrific.
All right, thanks.
Thank you so
Next
much.
one. Thank you. It was lovely to meet you as well.
Yes.
All right. 30 Hudson Street, Forgione.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Where would you like?
Right there.
Right, you can be right there, sit at the
Sure,
table.
sit
or
at the
stand.
table.
Yeah, come join us.
Would anyone need?
Much better drawing.
Thank you. Does anyone need a copy of it? I throw out a copy.
Thank you, everybody.
We're gonna.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Enjoy the rest of the summer.
How many seats?
Plenty.
How many?
Plenty.
And how many you have inside?
Around 100. Including our bar room and dining room. They're called Forge now. The restaurant name is Forgione. It was nicknamed Forge, as that is the owner's nickname, but technically,
His father had a restaurant,
yes, Larry.
a very good restaurant, if I may say. So 100 inside, and how many bathrooms?
There's one ADA restaurant upstairs and 3 individual restrooms downstairs.
And what, is there an elevator or lift?
There is not an elevator or a lift. There's a set of stairs that goes downstairs to the 3 individual restrooms, but the ADA restroom is on the ground floor. So there's no.
Oh, no, yeah, me too. So the ADA is on the ground floor.
Correct.
Okay, fine.
And then on this floor plan, the ADA entrance is quite a bit.
Yeah. You don't have any, picture of
I
it.
don't have any pictures.
Oh, thank you.
Oh. So that's up, obviously not set with tables, but yes, that is our space. And we use both those planters and those stanchions as our dividers on 3 sides to delineate the area of the sidewalk cafe where the tables are for the rest of the sidewalk. We have a very large store frontage. Not as much as we could theoretically for the center cafe. We just use half of one side of the building, so on the corner. And while I know that this conversation is meant to be more about space, we also make it quite an effort to keep it as green as possible outside. I think a lot of times you see outdoor cafes set up and they feel very antiseptic. They're just sort of metal and plastic. Make it a point to make everything outside very green. Yeah, I get it's my greenery, so I get lots of compliments on planted and keeping it up. Sure.
Do you have any intention of applying for a road?
No, thank you.
Well, no, thank you to us.
Sorry?
We're thrilled.
Sidewalk there is so wide.
Yes.
It's very easy for us to operate, and it's also very easy for us to fall into parameters. Also, the street closure around the corner from us on Duane, that block is already closed on weekends to outdoor dining. So there's no need, we don't feel compelled to have to go around. Stand it in that.
And there's no music, there's none.
There are 4 umbrellas.
That's
between
fine.
the tables,
That's
so
fine.
I'm not showing the diagram, but otherwise.
And smoking?
No smoking, obviously.
No smoking allowed
No.
outside?
No.
Really?
So you have Sunday till 12 a.m. outside.
That's what we're allowed to do. We see outside from 5 to 10. We see our last tables outside.
Sunday? That's great. 10 o'clock is good.
Till 9.
That's great.
Great. We love them already.
I have no interest in music early.
Which we appreciate.
We really appreciate it.
It's very interesting.
Cutoff? Sorry, is 9 the cutoff or is 9 last seating?
9 is our last
That's
seating.
full.
We very rarely see on Sundays and Mondays, 10 hours of operation the rest of the week, but we very rarely see anyone that late.
It's our Sunday issue. That's the big issue for us. The other nights are fine.
So everything closes at 10.
Correct.
So that's
That's fine.
Yeah, need closing.
Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna do your liquor license step at the
Yes.
same time and send that off. So you do not need to come back. That's the goal.
I love that.
When you file it,
To send.
Sure, yes.
Yeah.
right, but when you, because you're coming here for this, we're gonna get all that information. So when you apply to SLA, they will have it on file that will save you from having to come back and explain.
Yeah,
You are welcome to come back as often as you like.
but
But next time, come back with a steak, because we don't need us. That's perfect. All right, only kidding. All right, any other questions from anybody? At the
do you have,
Yes.
does the restaurant have the,
Windows.
windows, doors that open onto the,
No, our front doors themselves open, but those are the only doors that open.
oh, okay,
And our ADA access as well.
Yeah,
but the
yeah, that's-
windows themselves don't open.
okay, thank you.
Are there removable barriers, the existing ones that you're relocating from your storefront to where they're showing, or they're new?
There are planters and stanchions that get pushed up against the building, and then they come out during when we're open.
The ones that you're showing that?
Exactly here. So here you see them along the building. They come out to basically along the edge of where the diamond plating is.
Diamond plating, oh, that's,
Got it.
and that's where the tables are gonna be.
Correct.
On the other side.
Half of our frontage is diamond plating. the
Right.
other half is what we refer to as fish eyes, but the glass eyes.
Okay.
Which I've learned, as this was my first time working with them, that you sweep the snow off them. Don't shovel it.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
basic good stuff.
It gets, yeah.
All right, Betty has her hand up. Betty?
Yes, can you go back to the photo of the diagram? Yeah, no, because there are a couple of things here that I find either deceptive or just plain confusing to me. For instance, there are these barriers that are up there, but whenever you conveniently have these these diagonal lines, such as allowing the 8 feet to the street signpost on the left
Sure.
side of the diagram,
Sure.
you're actually inside the area that is ordinarily with the barrier. So if you just remove the barrier and now you go up to the table, but in other places, if the barrier continued on, you wouldn't have 8 feet.
I personally did not draw this, my boss did, but the street sign actually is further to the left of where our barrier is.
This was the other drawing.
Betty, take a look at the second one that we have on the screen now.
There were 3 iterations of the drawing.
So the removable barrier that's all the way to the left doesn't actually go past where that street sign post is. It's inside of it.
Okay, so these lines in this drawing are the outer side of the barriers.
Correct.
Where exactly do the service workers go to
Great
provide
question. So
service?
go to the more recent drawing.
Yeah.
It's between the tables and the building itself, which is approximately 3 feet. Our building goes back and forth between posts and recessed windows. So where the posts are, there's 3 feet of clearance, and where the recessed windows are, it's a little bit more.
That's very good. I would suggest that in future drawings, they just plain put in that marcation so that it's clear that that is a service aisle that's intended.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yes.
So we have that.
And that
You
it's
have a
3 feet.
Yes.
Specific place for ADA sitting, somebody with a wheelchair outside.
Sure, so the tables on either end are the easiest accessible, but
Okay.
it's quite a large storefront, so there's quite a bit of space between everything.
Anybody else have any questions?
But you said there were 20 seats, right?
Correct.
Am I counting 10?
5
No.
tables with four chairs at each.
That's 20 in my book.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Call the question.
Second.
Okay. You have all your notes? Okay, you have your stamps?
Oh, see her stamp, her stamp.
Let's
My
get
stamp is
let's
home.
get that step going so you can sign and we can be done today. So, yeah,
Just hang.
Finish the vote.
just hang out after. So on that note, it's been called, it's been seconded, vote by affirmation. Are there any noes? Opposed? Are there any abstentions? Any recusals? Motion passes unanimously. Let's get you all set. And thank you. Sure. All right, moving on to 24. Sushi Thai.
May I have these green sheets back, please?
So, would you like the hot seat?
No.
Thank you.
It's a good hot seat.
Jeff? May I have your green sheet back, please? Yeah, if you don't want to keep it. Having it.
You got one more for outdoor dining. You got three
Oh,
outdoor.
on behalf of the
Sidewalks.
just in case you want to ask questions.
There you go. All right, welcome.
Hi,
Hi. Welcome.
I'm Victor Chan. I'm the owner of Aichi Japanese Restaurant. We've been in the neighborhood, serving this neighborhood in the South Street Seaport Finite area since 2005.
Yeah.
That's a good staple. We've had our sidewalk license previously, and then after COVID, we went with the roadway. I've since eliminated the roadway. We're just asking for the sidewalk cafe again. To be a members. That's where we're at.
How many seats?
It's 12 tables, 24 seats. And we have a pretty long frontage with the garage doors, so.
And bathrooms.
Yes, we have an ADA bathroom and a smaller bathroom, unisex bathroom on the ground floor.
How many seats inside?
46 seats inside with the sushi bar.
How many?
46.
Yeah, small.
It is small.
Why don't you get rid of the road then?
It was just too inconvenient for us. Service.
Yeah, and that block is crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
With the park thing in the middle, and what happens is people come off South Street and realize they can't come all the way around and get to, what is that?
Excellent.
Water Street and because I can see it, and I see all of these trucks,
Right.
there's issues there, so that's not a good place to have that.
You can see it from the window.
Huh?
You can see it.
Okay. Do we have questions online? Anybody? Nobody? Hearing and seeing none. Any questions in the room? Let's make sure we have all the hours correct. What are the hours? Susan, did you write down the hours for me?
No, I didn't. I need the hours.
Oh, it's in the application, but it's from Monday to Friday. We are open from 12 PM to 3 PM. Then we have a little siesta.
Right.
From 5 to 10 o'clock during the summer, during the winter hours, 5 to 11 during the summer hours. And then on Friday, that's Monday through Friday. And then Saturday, we are open from 12 PM to 11 PM. And then Sunday from 12 PM to 10 PM.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right, perfect.
And it's been the same hours since.
I know. Yeah, yes.
So again, we're gonna do the same thing for you if you don't mind hanging out.
Yeah.
You'll sign your stip for the liquor license, and then you do not need to return when you file all of this and you are approved by DOT and you send it up to SLA.
Okay.
You'll be set.
Thank you so much.
Can I call the question?
Yes.
May I? Mother, may I?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do a vote by affirmation. Are there any in opposition or no? Are there any abstentions, any recusals? Fantastic, motion passes. You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait for Onej to come around.
Sure, okay.
All right, 32 White Street, the Roxy Sidewalk Cafe. And let's pull up your presentation.
I also have copies for everybody if you can.
Fantastic.
Oh, thank you for it. Please introduce yourself.
For Ben Savitsky of the law firm Bernstein Radar Savitsky here today on behalf of Tribeca Grand Hotel Inc. You know them better as the Roxy Hotel. Their official address is 2 Avenue of the Americas. They are requesting, I'm sorry. Oh, you did. They are requesting the operation of a sidewalk cafe along Avenue of the Americas. It is 13 tables with 19 seats. This is a regional corridor. We have the clearance. We were actually here, we submitted our application last month. The community board and DOT had some questions about it. We spent the last month working with DOT to make sure that our plans are compliant. if you take a look at the last page in the application, you probably get the best view of what the diagram looks like. I added it on there. It kind of gives the entire space. We are in total 60 feet, 9 inches long, 10 feet wide. As I mentioned, it is a regional corridor. We do have 10-foot clear path. We are ADA accessible. There is a 3-foot service aisle. 5% of the seating is ADA accessible. Those would be the seats that are on the end near the entrance. We do have an ADA accessible bathroom inside the hotel. It is down to an elevator, but it is all ADA accessible. This place has been operating with the Sidewalk Cafe for, I believe, about 15 years. They had it under DCA, they had it during COVID. This is going to be under the DOT Dining Out program. They have no intention of operating a roadway cafe either here on Avenue of the Americas or any of the other 3 suites that they occupy. This is Arlene, she's from the Roxy. She is the general manager. She can answer any questions that you might have.
So let me understand. Okay, go on.
You currently have had 2 sets of outdoor dining or outdoor, I should say, outdoor sidewalk things that were not, that block the sidewalk. One is this, which is active as an outdoor restaurant. There's another one that has plants that are taller than me, put together very solidly. And so that's not at all noted on any of your diagrams.
So that is not a sidewalk cafe. What that is that's a security fence that's been put up. It's been there also for 15 years. They are in the process of requesting revocable consent from DOT in order to make sure that they are able to use that. I understand that there is some concern about how far out it is on the sidewalk. It does have a 10-foot clear path that would be required for a sidewalk cafe. If it were a sidewalk cafe, it's a sidewalk cafe. But because it is not a sidewalk cafe, we are not required to have the required clearances on the inside. So I think that they would be more than willing to work with the community board, push that in as far as necessary to make sure that there is a clear path for pedestrians that are walking down Avenue of the American.
And can you explain security for what?
There is a door there. One of their bars, one of the venues.
So it's a club entrance.
It's a club entrance. Yeah.
And don't you have roof?
Roof? No.
There's no.
We have an
But-
atrium.
An atrium, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, we have an atrium.
Yeah, so how many seats are, I mean, how many people are you seating in this area now?
In the sidewalk cafe, it's 19 seats at 13 tables.
How much indoor?
Oh, indoor. I mean, in the entire hotel, you have to remember they have a jazz club downstairs and a movie theater. It's probably about 400 seats throughout the entire hotel. On that ground floor area, probably about 100 seats through
115.
the lobby and the
How many
coffee bar.
So ladies' bathrooms, there are 5 individual stalls plus 1 handicap. Men's bathroom, we have handicap stall as well as urinals plus 4 enclosed towels.
That's
How many total?
Total, that would be.
Don't give us the stalls. I don't need the stalls. How many total bathrooms?
Public bathrooms,
There's female, male, public bathrooms, each have about
no, they don't want to solve another number of bathrooms.
2 bathrooms. 2 rooms.
2 rooms with multiple stalls.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
So, I just want to understand the whole aspect. Is it, you have a club, right? And you have, this is part of the hotel, but it's open to the public, the outdoor seating, the.
This is not associated with the club. The club is further north on Avenue of the Americas. There just is a security fence there.
Right.
Separate from the security fence, this is the sidewalk cafe that goes to the coffee bar that is right inside of the hotel.
Right.
And where are you gonna queue?
For the,
Do you anticipate any kind of queuing that would be needed for this cafe in?
they have more than enough
No,
space
we have
inside.
we have ample space inside. Yeah.
Also,
And the way we direct people, we direct them to our post stand inside and we manage
So here's a funny question, because I love the fact that we do film shoots over there. It's a fabulous building.
I mean,
Right.
it is, it
It's,
really
it's
is.
gorgeous. I love that place.
Yeah.
But when you got film shoots and you have the outdoor cafe and we have, there's no sidewalk left. So
Yeah.
do you have a plan that maybe can look forward? Because even if you take a look at your photos
Yeah,
that you
that's
got
the
here,
photos.
right? The photos are awesome, but they kind of illustrate where I'm going on this a little bit.
Make them better.
How can we, do you see the guy on the left there?
Yeah.
How can we do better sidewalk management to allow the sidewalks to be free for pedestrians? Knowing that, I mean, nobody really likes walking on the grates, but it's part of Clear Path, so I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
It is what it is, what it is. But it is also very difficult when there's a film shoot. So how can the curb management be a little bit better? And this is our opportunity to ask that question. We don't get it often, but, you know, just want,
Let me ask you, when there's a film shoot, do you guys use the sidewalk that day?
It really depends on when the film shoot is happening. I mean, we have a lot of overnight, late night, I know Law and Order likes filming on
Yeah.
Yeah.
quite often. And they tend to also bring in their own security personnel to manage the sidewalk. And they're all very respectful. So we, on our own occasion, when they're impeding our entrances, are often very well having open dialogue.
Right, and you're not orchestrating the film shoots, you're just.
Some people are not even notified until they're already booked by the city, and we're seeing,
Yeah.
you know, all the same orange signage, everyone in this board sees at the same time. We do benefit from puppy sales, but.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't wanna say, you know, we're not saying no to anything, but the
Yeah.
question is just to be able to say, if you can find a way to manage manage the sidewalk so it remains open for pedestrians to get down and around.
Yeah, because it's up, your hours, please.
The hours of operation for the sidewalk cafe.
Yeah.
But they do.
Oh, you have it. I see it.
But we typically close by 10. After 9 o'clock, similar to the Forge team, after our 9 o'clock seating, there's not many, you know, desire to sit on Sixth Avenue watching traffic, so we.
Yeah, they're not buying
everybody goes
anybody.
inside.
Yeah, it's fine. I just wanted to ask.
Notified before a shoot happens?
No, I mean, we also, we're notified by those orange postings.
All of,
I think no one on the.
no,
I-
nowhere.
We're all finding out at the same time.
It's terrible.
And quite often,
It's
they're
awful.
using our building as a backdrop to their film, and we have no say in the matter because they're filming on the sidewalk.
And you serve coffee.
Oh, no, we have a coffee shop that's inside. We have a full-service restaurant. We open for breakfast, starting at 7 a.m. During the week, we close at midnight on Friday and Saturday. Our indoor little oyster bar closes at 2. Our jazz club
So
downstairs.
For this
We,
establishment?
for,
Eventually be did, right now it is not licensed for alcohol, but after this and we file our 30-day notice, we will be going to state that we're already different alcohol.
No, it's gonna have coffee on Sunday.
no. And quite frankly, on Sunday after 6 o'clock, it's pretty quiet at that.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions around the table?
Unless there's an issue, then that's the order.
Any questions online? Any other slips? Nope. Seeing and hearing none, thank you. Oh, Wendy?
No, just
Call the question.
Second,
Okay.
points.
I'm like, I'm hearing that there's no arguments,
No.
opposition. We will put our note in here that, we do have some concerns about
The sidewalk.
sidewalk access with film shoots and perhaps DOT can talk to the movie crews about it, just to ensure, clear path.
Yeah, I'm sure we can try to talk to the sheriff.
They never have before.
Yeah. All right.
Come to my committee.
Yeah.
Things not turning too good.
Actually, it goes to DOT, not them, it's not.
Oh, Dad, if you're doing a skit, I need a principal in front of me, it would have to be emailed to me.
Okay, so I'll have to give you a
Oppose, you oppose that.
So we're not gonna.
I don't think so.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks, thank you.
No diamond plates here.
No diamond plates.
Take the one and I couldn't even get to sell it.
Yeah, we don't get, it's funny, the photo shoot, the
Thank you, everyone.
agents, the department is to come to the quality of life all the time.
We
Yeah,
don't
they
have
to-
them.
yeah, we have to come.
Most of the things that come through the event management system in the city is approved internally
Yeah.
by the office. We only bring in the large ones like tunnel to tower if it's gonna take over a lot of stuff, or if there's numerous complaints.
Yeah, it's a lot of complaints.
So there's a couple of things that we're done with the official agenda, except nominating committee, that's next, sorry.
Yeah.
We have to do the nominating, but I do want to talk about three things before we get to nominating, just so people know, and report. There was an incident at CB2 in the offices, so I do want to let you know that for a First Amendment auditor, quote, 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 came in, a YouTuber, kind of pushed his way into the office and was filming with his phone, for the people in the office, claiming he was investigating, but he didn't ask any questions. He maintained that it was a public office, so he had the right to stay, record anything he wanted, and sit until the end of the business day. It ended up, with employees being harassed and feeling harassed. And he had every intention for staying for the next 6 hours. NYPD and NYU security were both called. Charges were filed and the gentleman was arrested.
Good.
I am saying this only for one purpose. We're a community board. We do the best that we can. We try and make sure that we have a safe and comfortable environment for all our employees. As I'm sure you probably know, the chair is required to take trainings to make sure that you are, I am EEO and sexual harassment training and all kinds of other trainings in order to be chair. So, he also went down the road because our employees, all community board employees, their information is public. So how much they make, how much each community board spends is public. So he went along his merry way, kind of announcing all of that. I'm not sharing his YouTube because I don't want to give him any looks, likes, views, anything. But I'm letting you know that if the front door is locked, knock. That's all you need to do, right? Buzz yourself, but we are encouraging the office to keep the door closed. Because we just, anybody can come to the office, which is no problem. We're open for the public, but we also want to make sure that
Our staff is safe,
our
yeah.
staff is safe. So that's one. Secondly, we haven't gotten the official notice yet, but it has been called to the office to Zach that 52 William, the former Radisson, will be turned into a shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, such a surprise.
I was gonna say, that's not
I
surprising.
understand it should be a adult family shelter potentially, and DHS and the operator will come to us in Q4. So there's all of that fun stuff that's going on.
Also,
Pardon?
also, the migrant shelter that was on Washington.
Migrant shelter that was at 99 Washington, was returned back to Holiday Inn and the owners. The owners have thus, repurposed the building and it opened as a dorm. So it is now a college dorm.
Partially.
What does that mean?
The whole
The
thing?
whole thing. So there are,
It's not a dorm for-
corporations
Mhm.
that rent rooms as dormitories.
I
They are
see.
in
It's
many
not for one
cities.
particular school.
Well, it's not for one particular school, it's for one particular
Thank you.
kind of resident, and they're college students.
Okay.
And that is something that could be done, for example, out on Governors. And because it is a college student dorm building, it's under different rights and regulations because they don't have, they're not considered permanent residents and things like that.
But we would like the operator, if possible, to come to speak to us.
So, I mean, that could be a lot of fun. That could definitely be a lot of fun.
Everything's fun.
I know. There was the city ferry. Public comment period is open until September 1st. We did at Borough Board ask the Manhattan Borough President is asking to extend that to September 30th. because it was announced in July, none of the schools are open, and the people who work in the schools are away, and if you close on September 1st, for example, particular to our district, the Harbor School has people who come from Brooklyn, and in particular, they were cutting one of the stops. And one of the stops that they're cutting is Brooklyn to Governors. So whether or not that can be picked up, that is something that it would be really nice if they could allow the people who work and, just a little bit more time to know. So, that was that. We did celebrate this month and kudos. Governor's Island is the first electric boat on.
I know, it's cool.
Rounds of applause, because if we can get everybody else down there, imagine how lovely.
It would be.
It would be. Quiet. Yeah, we had another transportation.
And where is it charged?
On Governors. So it's not a bad thing. It's, a really good thing as far as I'm concerned to get going. There was something else from transportation. Do you remember, Jess, what it was? Betty Betty, do you remember? I did put out, I'll try and find it if I can.
There was something to executives.
Yeah, there was something that I thought that we should have sent here that so what other? Betty, do you remember? There was something that came for transportation that we should have discussed. I don't remember.
No, just the one that you did, and that was the revocable consent.
Okay, fantastic. What else do I have? That's very. Oh my gosh. After Susan, we're getting, we have to apply for New York City Community Planning Fellows. Again, you'll get an email early September that says, hey, got any ideas? Please send them to us, which would be really important. We're still trying to chase down who owns Little West Street. Public youth facilities, the cannabis issue. I think everyone.
Yes.
Okay. So there is apparently a bill that is sitting there. It has not gone anywhere yet, but we know that it is at city council. It has Farrell Lewis as a sponsor, Julie Menon as a co-sponsor, Councilmember Marte, Joanne Ariola. There's, I think, 7 sponsors, but it hasn't made it to committee. It's super important if anybody asks or talks that we are talking this up and we get this done in the legislature. This is about establishing a 500-foot rule, again, away for cannabis from any public youth facility, which is defined by New York State. It's a location owned by the government that's accessible to the public, primary purpose to provide recreational opportunities or services to children or adolescents, where the primary population is reasonably expected to be 17 years or younger, AKA the playgrounds that are owned by the city. So you don't get a cannabis shop that opens next door to the playgrounds. But they can currently until the city council passes it.
What happened, if I may, when the governor says she wants to keep them all in business and wants to ignore the 500 rule?
Well, the ones that are open already, you mean?
Well,
Yeah, those that are open.
They got sued. The state got sued because the
Okay.
memo came out last month saying that they recognize they made a mistake. The licensees get 2 years in their current location, then they'll have to move. So the licensees who are in jeopardy sued. Which is, so we'll see what happens. I mean, the problem is that they completely ignored us telling them that
All that time.
55 William
Mhm.
is by the 2 schools and they let it open anyway, so.
If the OCM admitted they were wrong, why the need for legislation?
So they admitted they were wrong in terms of distancing from schools specifically. So for example,
But not playground.
But not houses of worship.
Houses of worships, well,
those
they,
aren't publicly
what
owned.
they control were schools, houses of worships. What they left for playgrounds was up to the local jurisdiction. So without local jurisdiction passing legislation, there's no prohibition. So that's kind of like the funny little sort of in between where's has to be.
And community centers are not really.
Community center, if it's owned by the government, doesn't make a difference who runs it. But like, for example, Manhattan Youth is not owned by the city. They provide services for the city and they are a city contracted provider. But according to what the law says, it's owned by, which means parks that are owned by the city, definitely playgrounds, swimming pools, community
All
centers that are owned by the government. It doesn't have to be by the city. So for example, you couldn't put one up next to Asphalt Green because that's actually owned by Battery Park City Authority, so it's owned by the state. Right, so it's understanding the nuances and what's going on with that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and I think those are all the things that I had for updates. Oh, and we have not heard anything about 320 Pro.
That was a terrible, arrogant letter that you sent them. I mean, arrogant.
I don't write them, I just share them. Okay. On that note, I
Excuse
will
me.
tell you-
Can
Yes.
I go back to one
Absolutely.
last topic?
Sure.
I have some sympathy for the people who opened cannabis shops and then, to their knowledge, were told that they were a little bit off. The measurement changed from the door to the perimeter. However, my other concern is going to be, what if the school opens after a cannabis shop is opened? Are you forever at jeopardy of those buildings or functions moving close to you, and then you're out of luck and you have to relocate your business every time someone chooses?
No.
No, it doesn't operate like that. It's kind of like a restaurant or bar. If we opened up for example, we'll use Peckslip School, right? Peckslip School was opened. There were already existing bars and restaurants that were there.
That's right.
They don't need to move. Because the school opened, it's chicken and egg. What came first?
Okay, so we know very well that they're not particularly a threat to schools, because if they're there before the school, then there is no particular concern. It's just the school's there, then all of a sudden they're a danger.
Correct, because you wouldn't normally build a school next door to a cannabis location. Right, or you don't build a school necessarily next door to the bar.
Or liquor store.
Or a liquor store. Those are kind of the way things operate. All right, that's all I have until we do establishing a nominating committee. So we need a nominating committee.
I'll do it.
Don't you always?
I usually do.
Thank you
And
so much.
don't you do it with me sometimes?
Are you enlisting?
Yeah, I'm enlisting.
I haven't done it before, but I.
It's funny, what I was,
Well, can't we do something simple?
oh, sure.
Doesn't Brendan want to be secretary? It's an easier job than taking minutes.
You have to ask him, the nominating committee can certainly do that.
He didn't look like he was interested. He was not happy.
What do I do with this?
So these are the ballots.
Now, what is it?
You fill out the names, who's gonna be on the nominating committee, and then the nominating
Pass them
committee
around.
talks to people
Right
who
here.
would like to
What
be
is-
secretary.
What is the nominating committee's, enlighten, what have you done in the past? This is my first time.
I would be happy to.
But if you're a co-chair and your chair isn't here, you need to grab their name.
So you need to grab the one that says Alice, cross that out and put your own name in. Okay, I will tell you what the.
Maybe.
Oh, I didn't see that we had names on it.
Yeah, ballots are printed on the bottom.
So I have my own. And what do I do with it?
Okay, hold on, we're gonna fill in
Maybe.
5
Alice wants
candidates to be on
do
the
it.
nominating committee. All right, hold on.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right,
you
so
do.
the nominating committee shall,
Put your name.
those nominated.
Yeah, I did it for you.
5 nominees received the highest number of votes at the. shall constitute the-
Yeah.
Okay. Should a member resign or be removed before the work of the nominating committee is finished, the person who received the next highest votes. Okay, go ahead. That's it we have. The nominating committee selects a chair.
Let's see.
Like, what is
The nominating committee shall actively encourage board members to become candidates. No member of the nominating committee may be a candidate for any office unless no other candidate for a given office emerges, in which case a member of the nominating committee may be nominated from the floor for the office. In such a case, the member shall automatically be removed from the nominating committee. Can you give Wendy Alice's, or I have blanks, you can write your
Just put a
own.
blank one, right?
There you go.
Here, Gary.
Patrick should, you should, yeah.
So I'm sorry, why do we have these, what are we doing?
We're nominating.
So what are we doing?
On the
There you
nominating
go, Nana.
committee.
Tired.
Okay.
Okay. Unless Betty's voting.
This is just.
I'll let Betty's voting. I'm happy if there's other. Betty, are you voting?
And Betty, would you like to be on the nominating committee?
Betty? Jess, you might have to vote. for Betty.
Absolutely
Yep.
not.
Which one, Betty?
All right, so let's see if we can get 5 names together for the nominating. Nominating committee is gonna make its report to the community board at, I think, September or October. And then I think September, and then we vote in October. That's right.
Okay,
That's
I'm
why we
completely
pushed it till
confused.
today.
So what do I put down?
Today
here?
we're instituting a nominating committee, which I'm nominating Susan Cole.
Excellent. I like that.
Okay, so Susan Cole, yes.
Who else?
Wendy said she'd do it.
Yeah.
Wendy,
So
I
I
think
just
we're-
want to make sure I'm not missing meetings or.
you won't.
Yeah, you know,
Trust me.
It could be fully virtual because the nominating committee doesn't really vote. You're
Yeah.
just, doing your own. Okay,
Okay.
Jeff, would you like to be on the nominating committee?
Come on, Jeff.
Yeah.
Jess, would you like to be on the nominating committee?
yeah, you
If I must.
Oh, of course, thank you.
twist his arms. You need 5 people, right?
I need 5.
I need one more. Wendy, Jeff, and Jess.
Oh, Wendy, sir?
Yeah, Wendy.
Wendy, Jeff, Pat, are you in or no?
No, thanks.
All right, I'll jump in the fray.
You?
Unless Desi wants in.
Desi?
Desi Morton? Nominating
Desi,
committee?
you never done it before, come on.
It sounds like there's not.
Come on, Desi.
One said he'd do it.
Oh, great.
Fortson, okay.
Morton's in.
Okay.
Morton's voting, Desi.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Desi's in too?
Desi, are you in?
That'd be great. That's what the.
So, yeah.
No, it's up to you. We only need 5, so if Jeff or Jess don't want to play, then.
Well, I'm happy to drop out.
So we won't put Jeff.
Nope, Jess Coleman, you got.
Just call me.
I got Jess and I have Desi.
It was more, yes?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's Susan, Wendy, Morton, Desi, and Jess.
Yeah, here.
1, 2,
That's it?
3, 4, 5. Yes.
That's it, 5.
And we are voting. So if everybody is happy with that, sign your sheet and turn it in.
I did.
There you
What's
go.
what's your last name?
Maybe like.
Bensley.
Oh, I didn't put last names for me. Will you do that?
No, I don't.
Please.
That's the last name. How do you spell it? M-E-N.
M-I-N.
Oh, M-I.
S-L-E-Y.
I think so.
Well, that everybody doesn't know, you know.
I don't know, if we get from.
I gotta put that thing.
No, we're done.
But Desi, what's your last name? I forgot.
I'll get one in hall.
I forgot. I got 50 at home.
Thank you for your volunteerism. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jess.
There you go. This just means that we can't torture Jess to be secretary.
It's worth it. That's exactly right.
Torture you to try.
It is the hardest position to fill as secretary. Nobody ever wants to be.
But I think secretary is as bad as assistant secretary, because assistant secretary, you have to take the minutes.
It's pretty gross.
That, the secretary, all Mimi does is keep tabs of,
Votes and roll call. You'd think it's easy, but.
but it's not, but I know, but it's not.
We are unruly.
It is.
Gotta be
Whatever time they are.
8:20.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Good
And
night,
does
Grace.
anybody have
Thank
anything
you.
else?
So can I
Do I
have
have a
you?
motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, meeting adjourned, day 21. Thank you so much.
May I have your sheet?